Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my look at Hearts of Iron IV, Waking the Tiger. Alright, well, first off, I will admit I have not been playing the beta as much as I should, so I know about, generally speaking, most of the features, but I don't know it in any super great detail. Okay, but one thing here is that this will be incredibly different, because this is how I used to have to move around this map, and then back here, and this was a design feature, trust me, that's what they say, but now we can do this. Oh, no, this. There we go. We can see on the map where we are, and we can click down here, and up here, and over to the Caribbean, or off Africa, and get there pretty damn quick. So that is a good and wonderful thing. The only thing is, I wish they would re-add back, and they didn't, is the parabola, I think it's called, that sort of wave thing that goes to show day-night as it goes across here. Because yes, we can turn on the day-night cycles, as you can see it here, but in actual play, 95% of the time or more, it means no difference. Yes, night battles versus day battles do make a very big difference, but really, you're going to really plot for that. And two, especially if you're going fast, it just starts flickering across the screen, so I don't like that. And so now that we have a mini-map back, yay! We also have 2 leader images, one with extra braiding around it, and larger, so that is also good. But we're not going to go over all of the features purely at start here, but those are some big things to look for. Now, the other big, another big thing, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. This is really starting to get to where the game should have been at release. We have events and decisions over here. Events, basically news pop-ups and event pop-ups. Those are gonna, pop up like they have been. We still have events, but we also have decisions here. So MeFo bills for Germany. It's talked a lot about this in my Hearts of Iron 3 series dealing with Germany recently. Economies and the way they work and can work with sort of fiat money. For those of you unfamiliar, money used to be something of value. You go, what? I want money, it's valuable. Yeah, that's only valuable because we say it's valuable. If, say, tomorrow, next year, or something, somebody finds a gold vein so big that it's more than all the steel in the, or all the iron that we've ever dug up, and we can just start digging up gold. Oh yeah, you can have as much gold, you can have gold rings so big you can't even lift your hands off the ground or something. Gold will become a whole lot less valuable. You'll flood the market. This happened historically with gold and silver when they conquered the New World and got a bunch of the Aztec and Inca gold and things, and the Spanish brought that back to Europe, and it plummeted in value. What it could buy in value. I don't think we could really sort of conceive of today how much gold in that sense just plummeted in value, because it just flooded the European markets. And it was to the point, Spain for a while had the greatest army sort of in Europe, and probably on the planet, but it's sort of like, well, we want to buy guns. Well, we have gold to buy guns, yes, but we can only make 10 guns a day. Remember, this is, pre-industrial age, or whatever the number is. Well, but we want 20 guns, but we don't have the apprentices, we don't have the people trained to make, so gold, you could throw gold at something, but you could only get so much of it you know, people weren't willing to, you know, jump through super hoops just to get the gold. So, but so long as gold is relatively a stable amount of known materials, it's going to hold its value because people use it in industry, including computers. People use it for all these wedding rings out there and all these other things that people feel they need to use gold for. Well, you know, it has a demand, and it has an intrinsic demand, so it has value. Money used to be that you would have on, like, an American dollar, well, well, just about any American currency, federal currency. Bank currencies were different. We can get into that some other time. Redeemable for $20 in gold. Now, exactly how much $20 in gold was, well, it was a $20 gold piece. Now, you could reissue another $20 gold piece that be half the weight, you know, half the size or something, but it was sort of a known quantity that this piece of paper could be gone to a Federal Reserve Bank in exchange for gold or silver. Sometimes it was on the silver standard as well. So, but you could, you know, like a silver dollar was a silver dollar, you know, round silver thing that was worth $1 in silver, and you could go in and get as much silver dollars as you wanted from your cash. They start moving it to fiat currency, away from being pegged to a amount, a definable amount in gold or silver, and so money is now worthless. It's, you know, and we can see that in the hyperinflation in Germany, as well as Zimbabwe and other places. So money floats in value. Now, money in the old Hearts of Iron 3 game is really an international exchange currency. And so, talked a lot about this. I know I'm going on a bit, but so within a nation can just print up or put on the books as much money as they want. If you start doing that, like let's say paying your workers equivalent of $1,000 an hour, but if there's nothing they can go and spend that on, because maybe they're building fighter aircraft and artillery pieces, which they can't go buy or don't want to go buy, you know. I would love to own a PAC 40, you know, anti-tank gun or something, but most people really don't need one of those, want to have one of those, and most governments don't want to let their citizens have anti-tank guns in their backyard. If you're just buying military weapons and equipment like that, or building them and spending on it, you put a lot of money into a system and you create inflation. So you have to sort of watch that. Well, this is not so much the inflation, but there is, I believe, an element of this. And so in order to fund our growing military industry and keep this secret from British and French eyes, we have been forced to use a balance sheet entry to route payments in the form of promissory notes. If we do not use our political connections to extend the due dates of these notes, we will be forced to repay them and will no longer receive their benefits. So, MeFo bills, sort of. Hello, people on Twitch. I hope you're doing well. See, we've got a few people watching. So the MeFo bills. And what are they? Here we go, MeFo here. Probably stands for something in German. I don't know exactly what MeFo stands for. Bills were promissory notes created by Helmut Schacht to enable governments to fund rearmament, acting through the balance sheet and entity. Oh, here it is. Metallurgische Forschungsgesellschaft. Yeah, okay. To hide these rearmaments from French or British eyes. Okay, so this is part of the fiat currency and operations that the Germans were doing. And so long as we keep the MeFo bills, and I don't know if we can keep them permanently, but so long as we can keep them, we have consumer good factories reduced by 20%, though it's costing us a little bit of daily political power. We can come over here, and, well, here actually, and we can see here how partial mobilization is affecting our military and civil factories here, which military and civil is 60, but MeFo bills is reducing it, and our stability levels, which is at 84, is also keeping the needs for consumer goods down, trade goods, because I do have a few trades ongoing here. Hello, Arno. How you doing? Good to see you. So we have that up here, and we want to keep those. So we want to keep an eye on this and these, because we want to keep renewing them. And sort of important thing, not like it's life or death. Okay, the other, we have the 4-year plan, Army and Air Innovations, just I said those backwards, the Rhineland. We also have naval rearmament. And we have this other oppose Hitler. Now, how do I put this? And I want to be fairly clear about this. I think these alternative history things are cool. But oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. But are completely unrealistic. So cool, but unrealistic. This, in my opinion, again, comes off of a lot of the Paradox fan base of, you know, EU, Victoria, Crusader Kings, and as well as the which that fan base wants to do world conquest games, but doesn't want to think of themselves as the truly evil Nazis, and I totally get that. So, but I just think it's do that later as opposed to earlier. So this is a mutually exclusive thing. We're going to do the Rhineland first. Oh, and we also have the naval armament, so I didn't say that. One thing I'm glad that I'm starting to finally see. Hello, Bear Zerheit. I hope I'm getting that reasonably right. Is that they're starting to, at least more so, vary the time cost on these national focuses. As a modder, I've worked with the national focuses a bit. I have, I gotta be careful what I say here. I've had my disagreements with some of the elements of the national focus. Click button, wait 70 days, get your effect. To me, that is simplistic. Simplistic doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's just simplistic, which, you know, it limits its immersion and limits its effect. And so I get where they're coming from with these. One of the big things is, and I think I can say this clearly, is that the developers really like about the national focus is that it lets players, and because let's face it, many of you who, and yes, I know we're on Twitch now, but I'm also thinking for the YouTube audience that watches my channel, many of you know the history very, very well. So you're really up on it. But that cannot be said for the average Hearts of Iron 4 player, especially seeing as the average Hearts of Iron 4 player isn't even registered on, like, the Paradox forums. They've just bought the game. They bought it through, you know, well, downloading it. There are other ways to buy it, technically. But downloading it through Steam, and they may not even really hardly check out the Steam forum. So, and I know in America, most people are not educated formally about history. I just know that in the school system, they're not, because I went through the school system long ago, and even then, they didn't get much history, and they've gotten a whole lot less. And that, unless, of course, you've gone for like a history major, but that's a very minor subsegment of students. So they like the idea that, well, if you want to get to Danziger War here, this is what you've got to do. So if you, you know, you make some of the right choices. So I get some of that. So I get a much of their element. I would have every one of these things, at least either on clicking and or on completion, fire an event. Now we're going to start with the Rhineland. Oh, and they're not all just 70 days now. I get the idea of a national focus, what the nation is sort of governmental wise or whatever is focusing on at the moment. I get that, and then I get the idea of something of an understandable chartable pattern. Okay, and as you can see, the German tree has grown significantly, and not just in the fantasy realm, but in other realms too. So but they're starting to get the idea that, hey, not every you know, if I haven't looked through all of these, but some of these things, well, might be done shorter, but we like the 35-day thing here. So we're going to start with the Rhineland, and we're going to come over here and we're going to build some more civilian factories, cover our trading costs and other things. And there is no real reason to go beyond at least my standardized starting research. They haven't, well, they have expanded this. Now you now have rubber and oil separated out smartly. The US needs rubber historically. Oh, did we have a brief an interruption? Okay. Yes, you're right. You can do that. And so if you want to go down those kind of paths, play a historical or non-historical future, that is a really interesting way of doing things. But so we have the option here to do rubber only, and the US needed rubber during World War II badly, very badly, but it had plenty of oil, so you don't have to do both of these. You can just do one of these, but we're not doing that yet. We're coming over here, getting started. Now we're also going to come over here and we'll add two more just to start these. Give it a location over here. And we're going to come over here and, oh no, train another set. There we go. That will get us a bunch of divisions coming forward. And let's go. We'll speed this up to full speed. So there's not much going on now, but we will be warned about this in due time. We now also have command power, which deals with your generals, stability, and war support. War support is not strong at the moment. Stability is rather good. We don't ever want to go to a situation where we don't have political power so long as we have these MeFo bills. And let's look a little bit at it. We'll give these guys and these guys to... And let's pause this. See, the warnings come up here. But we still have a few days. that. So we've remilitarized the Rhineland, and the French have not opposed that. That is good. So let's pick out a general. Let's get a good general for the infantry. A harsh leader and cautious. So he isn't going to be... Well, maybe actually he might be a good leader for some cavalry officer. Well, I don't know if that's a good idea for... This is the other major big improvement. No, you want the MeFo bills. You want the MeFo bills, because I'll just call them bear. You can see here as I hover over them, consumer goods factories minus 20%. So that maybe could read the need for consumer goods factories minusing at 20%. So that what that does here is means we don't need any. None of our 31, I think it is, or 29. No, that's not. Where's the total for this? Absolute total. Okay. Oh, so we have 32 goods factories total. 3 of them are doing trade. None of them are doing consumer goods. All of them are building more factories. So that is really good. If you lose that, you're going to have to... Well, not good at math, but you're going to have to do the... have more consumer goods factories taken away. Okay, you can see here now, one thing, let's look at details here. This is, they have now completely surpassed, and I know a lot of viewers on this channel are Hearts of Iron 3 players, and have just like the quote-unquote dumbing down, and there was an amount of it, in Hearts of Iron 4. And we can get into some of the reasons for that. But you can see here that they have outdone themselves from the previous one in command traits and how they work. And we have... Well, I don't think we have enough command power to do much. But, oh, well, here. Okay, he's an engineer. He, Henry Sini. He's an engineer. Now, we can spend command power and turn him into a fortress buster or a scavenger. These are mutually exclusive when you have this little arrow things. So you can do this or this. So you can't, at least in the standard game, wait till us modders start getting in and playing with it. But love to see what the Black Ice team gets in and starts doing with some of this stuff. You want more equipment, capture gain ratio for battles and units of his, or do you want to bust through forts better, which also enables siege artillery? Which is that another trait or no? Just other thing. So we have the abilities to develop our leaders here, and this is really, really cool. Yeah, so well, let's see, engineer, infantry officer, so that's good. So he's going to be our general. Okay, yeah. So we now have him as a general. This is changed and developed as well. But what we also have here is a field marshal for Army Group 1. These are our current 3 field marshals. It takes command power, again this, to promote up one of these other guys. We're going to give it to sort of tried and true von Rundstedt. And so now if we wanted to, and let's just do so. But we're going to let's find another general here. Schultz, another infantry general. But we're going to come over here, and we're going to give von Kluge this command. So now we have a, even within one theater, we have, yes. So there we go. So we have a Western and Eastern theaters set up here. Oh, well, we can, well, so we have that done. And we can click specifically on this theater. We want for this theater. And collapse it down. Well, I don't want to give fun. I want the fun one. Well, you can see now he has 2 of 5 subgroups under him, but we're gonna change this back to this. No theater. There we go. And give him back to that. Yeah, there we go. And now, because this is only 35 days, we're going to take naval rearmament next. And we are almost up on this, so we want to renew the MeFo bills. And we have enough political power. What we're going to do, come over here, and we're going to, well, we haven't got Shaq yet, so let's, I want to build up that. You see, we're just busting through that fast. That'll increase our naval building abilities greatly. And we can build more ICs. You want to again build them, I know most of you know all this, in provinces that have higher percentages of infrastructure. Engineering. I should learn to speak if I'm going to do this, shouldn't I? Okay, naval rearmament focus. Very good. Now we're going to come over here and do the 4-year plan. This is very important. And we can form another general group. Oh, yeah. Basic machine tools, yes. Yes. But I want to assign to general here. Yeah, Papa Hawk. That's good. Did I get these screwed up? Yes, I did. Oh well, doesn't matter at the moment. So we're going to continue with dispersed industry. That is the best if you're worried about being bombed. Now we want to come over here for artillery improvements. And now we're getting back over, well over 150. And it's looking like we're getting ready for MeFo bills shortly again. I don't think there's a way to put that on auto pay. Let's grab yes. Increase our political power. Hey, thank you for following the channel. Do appreciate it. As we've expanded our industry, we can expand our industry. just click on the... Now we can do a couple of more things here. We can improve worker conditions. That increases our need for factories, but it increases weekly stability, which is very good. So, yeah, we'll do that. And Italy wins its war against tribes in Africa. That it had a hard time doing so. Okay, so now that we have the 4-year plan, it is very good. We can expand into the West Wall, which we will do sometime. Gross Rammengeschaft. Basically, it sets up that. Autarky, which... Autarky, if you didn't know, is the, closed economic system that is completely self-sufficient. Again, for the Americans who don't have good basis in education. Not your fault, it's your teacher's fault. So that is a very good option to do. We also have Army innovations, which will help with research and unlock other things. Or we come down to naval effort. I want to do the autarky, because we are going to be researching, expanding stuff. Definitely the Atlantic Wall. The Atlantic Wall, yes, when we get there. Ost Wall, I don't know. I don't have a specific plan to build it. Let's go with that. Having Hess here greatly improves our political power gain, which is good. Okay, the Olympics, yay. Doesn't do too much for us, like it should. Okay, well now that we have a reasonable basis of factories, civilian factories, let's start building some military ones. Autarky, good. Yeah, let's do this. And let's come over here and let's get shacked for our construction infrastructure building speed. The Hermann Goering Works, you can see here, that will greatly liquidize coal liquidization and increase our infrastructure, which adds to factories, but we'll do this first. And now that we have built up a bunch of submarines, let's see. There we go. Get those building a little bit quicker. And we also need more resources, so who do we want? We'll trade with Venezuela. Okay. And we will trade with the Dutch East Indies. Yeah, we'll get to building some of the subs once we clear out the backlog of ships already needed. Okay, excavations are research. So now we can push this or this, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Um, And we can build more things. So what we're going to do here is, I like to have control of my air power, my air regions. And now that we have a little more excess, how long until that's done? 44 days. That's a little longer than I want to wait. I don't know, we can build more. Spanish Civil War. Okay. I do want to expand my economy even more. Okay, the Hermann Göringwerk has been built. We can do the KDF wagon, but what I want to do is come over here. This is just another 35 days. We'll take the additional resources, and we're also going to get Walther Funk. He was Goering's flunky, basically. During the 4-year plan, he's, worked for Goering. As you all know how much I like naval bombers. We're going to take some of those. And now that we have this, we're going to come over here because we have this. Only 79 days, we're getting it in advance. Well, not that much of an advance. I'm going to wait for the next year to start, because then that'll make those be super fast to build. Well, what do I want to build then? Or research, I should say. Well, let's go with there. Let's have this one too. And we can do heavy fighters. Well, yes, in a way. Not stacked as closely as I do in Hearts of Iron 3. What the heavy fighters will allow you to do is reach further out into the sea and control air zones further out than you can with standard fighters. And that will allow you to operate out there and not hopefully get all shot down. Okay. Now this is where I find it really tough to make decisions here. Got this. This is a no-brainer. KDF wagon. Gets 6 civilian factories. That's great. Also gets to the research slot. But I also want to research some land doctrine focuses, which will take a while. But if I do this, it reduces 2 of them in half. So these now actually are a bit more worthy. So I'm going to do this. I have my once. I have my sort of... And let's... get that going. And... There we go. We'll get finish building those, then we'll build some subs. I'm sort of saving some of the edges for naval slots if I wish to use them. And since we have built up our generals, let's take a quick look. Well, here, let's... Offensive doctrine we have. We can now add charismatic or organization first reinforcement rate. We're going to go with charismatic. Add that. Let's pay the 15 to do that. And since I think we all really like Guderian well, Panzer expert or combined arms. Expert, mechanized, motorized. So we already have that. Armor speed, armor division attack. We can add that. Mechanized defense increases executing blitz and encirclement tactics. We're going to go with combined arms. Well, I don't know. I haven't looked at the Dutch focus tree yet. I know you're particularly concerned. Let's see, student. These are airborne. So, skirmisher, probing attack enables that ability. Paratrooper enables glider planes, and camouflage expert. We're going to go with paratrooper. Extra supply grace. So we now have that. And we still have 55. Up here. Or Heil. Fortress Buster, or that, or we can go to Winter Expert. We're going to go to Winter Expert. So anything up north, we should send him up there. And we can click on the nation and details here. So far it's just the bog standard generic thing. They haven't done anything yet for the Dutch, sorry. I do like this, the operational range things. Just wish they operated in that sort of range, if you wish them to do so. Now, how are we doing for other equipment? Okay, we've got a good bonus of equipment, so let's train another, because I want another location. Put it down here. Train and train and train. And start training some mountain brigades. There we go. Hello, ads. Anything new for India? I haven't really, quite honestly, looked. It doesn't look, because we already know the not Death or Dishonor, the first DLC had stuff for India already, so Well, Vickers' birther gun is for India, actually, but I mean, obviously it's around here. But yeah, unless you're going, it has whatever the Commonwealth DLC had is still here. So, oh, I guess this is the British Raj. So it just this standard stuff from the previous DLC. Okay. How are we doing for those MeFo bills? Okay, plenty of days in time. Now, we can institute press censorship, which reduces daily communism and daily democratic support and support for unaligned, and moves things towards fascism. So we want to do that, which that's what they're calling Nazism, is fascism. You know my disagreement on that it's something else, so we're going to do that as well. We've got nearly 100% stability. Okay, so that gives us... We're still doing... How long until we get... oh, we'll wait. We'll wait. And radios, we'll wait. Army divisions, there we go. Oh, stop. Let's actually slow this down a little bit. There we go. No, I want to come over here. Not thinking as clearly. Okay. I want to get one of these underway. Now we're only at 91 days. These we're going to burn through faster, so you see we're down at 66 days, so we want to do that most assuredly. Yeah, it depends on some of the settings that you have for the game, how historical or non-historical paths they will take. So that ranges out. So we want to do that. Well, I think do one, yeah. So we want to do this because I want to get to this extra research slot. So we're going to do KDF wagons. And this is getting close enough that we will hit that again. But one thing I wish, is there a, no, right, active for that, MeFo bills, political. I prefer to fire and forget kind of thing. I did do that. No, not just for role playing. I put that on because we'll increase our fascism support and reduce the others. So we'll get more political percentage for the NSDAP. Now we're gonna add anti-tank guns to the mix here. Building these ships are increasing our need for oil. Well, who are we gonna trade with? Let's Dutchy send these for 8. Well, it looks like the fascists are winning. If you will, the nationalists really, but we're just going to increase and increase. Oh, we also need more cobalt. Something I don't pay attention to enough. Let's see, Turkey. Well, I'll start with just 8. Yes, we do need to do that. Increase the infrastructure up there. Need a few more of these so that we can continue trading. And we'll build a few more armaments factories. Okay, we're at 51, but we're gonna keep this. Well, MeFo is in a while. Now here, okay, so we've got through those, got through that. The F wagon's great. And now for that extra research slot. The Hindenburg incident. Oh, we got the close call this time. With Germany, this isn't terribly useful, at least at this point. The mini-map, but playing as Britain or the US and having to jump all over the place. You can still zoom out and, you know, jump around and zoom in. I love that, having it back. Okay. And do you want radio detection? Yes. Yeah, we're gonna wait on some of those. Okay, we now are through that. So let's go and get some of these submarines built. We don't have many good ones yet, or designs. And let's finish off the battleship. And now we have heavy fighters. Once we get the factories, and we're waiting on that. Uh-oh. For some reason, my connection seems to... Well, we're going to end the episode here. Not the stream, just the episode. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. I really do appreciate that. Please post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas. Like I say, I've played this some, but not as much as I should for the beta. But so if you've got any questions I might be able to help out with, or even tips on things, love to hear them. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.